So like this, the project for this winter is going to be the halachas of Havdalah. We've got beautiful new books. Last night we didn't do the Gemaras. I figured now we'll do a little bit of Perek Yud Aleph in seder birchos hanehenin, which is the halachas of birchos psamim.
Which was the Gemara we did last week.
Right, which the Gemara did last week. Okay, and next week, Mitzvah Shem will go back to basically the Perek we're learning now is all about Havdalah. It's all about the halachas of Havdalah, birchos psamim, the Havdalah, and all around the Havdalah. So we got Shmulik sponsored 8 fresh, nice Sforim, the Eibishter's all the Baglikim. So that's going to be the project for this winter. So the Vaila tonight, let's start a little bit. Yeah. What's interesting is that the Alter Rebbe wrote the seder birchos hanehenin twice. He wrote it once, it was called Luch birchos hanehenin, and then he wrote a second time called seder birchos hanehenin. Obviously, he changed his mind on a lot of things, but the one biggest and notable change is that in lieu of birchos hanehenin there is nothing about the brachos of reach, no birchos psamim. He was moist of all the dinim of birchos psamim in the seder birchos hanehenin, and he didn't add it as a perek at the end. In the original there was 12 prokim, now there was a 13th perek, but he didn't add it at the end.
You just put it in the...
He put it in perek Yud Aleph, and he wrote Yud Aleph halachas.
Yud Aleph.
Right. It's Yud Aleph Samamonik Toiris, right? So he put it in perek Yud Aleph, and wrote Yud Aleph halachas.
This is the easy one to remember.
On all the dinim of boisem, of fragrance, of good smell.
My father, alav shalom, taught me through the Ben Ish Chai, when he said pitom haketoret, הצורי והציפורן, you do in your finger, הצורי והציפורן, והחלבנה, והלבונה, משקל 78, מור, קציעה, ושיבולת, נר, וחלקום, I don't know why. I never asked him why, but I do it.
Ben Ish Chai?
It's through the Ben Ish Chai.
Who told you this?
My father, alav shalom.
Uh-huh.
He was learning with the Ben Ish Chai there, and
Your grandfather.
The Skula.
Father too.
The Panasa.
Yeah?
It is.
You
ever seen schools that have it written
20 years ago.
in a frame?
They had here in the video
Skula,
some time ago. Actually, the gentleman used to come here and give a fabrengen for the students in the yeshiva. When the early years, the little kids in the school, they used to they were very attracted to the Rebbe. It was the son-in-law of the previous Rebbe, and they used to like to imitate him. So one of the things is he used to always count. He used to count. Yeah.
Atzori
Vatzipor, and the kids all used to copy him.
I'm not the only one.
They used to copy him by the fingers. He used to count also by the fingers.
The pastor studies, they write him out the new prints for the Bible.
Uh-huh.
So it's probably like Pi Kabbalah.
It's
if you miss one, you're hiding.
Right.
That's why Achanenim don't say it.
They play it safe. Yeah.
Yakis.
Okay, so Perek Yud Aleph. Let's learn the Yud Aleph halachas of birchos hareach. Sif Aleph, halacha Aleph. Birchos hareach hatoiv tzarich lavorech koidem sheyaschel lavoriach. You have to make the bracha before you start smelling it. Just like by food, you don't taste it and then make a bracha. First you make a bracha over lasa yosam, means before you start eating it. The same thing by areach, before you smell it, you make the bracha.
How you know if you're going to enjoy or not? Food.
You see it, you know what it is.
How do you know you're going to enjoy it or not?
It's a good shaila. Alter Rebbe doesn't talk about it. I think Avraham Chaim Noah writes, and I'm going to look it up before next year. It says if you mesupik if it has a good smell night, you're allowed to smell it, and if it smells good, then you make a bracha. But the Alter Rebbe doesn't talk about that. He doesn't say. You're not allowed to have a noah from this world without a bracha.
What if you walked into a place that already has a smell? So you make... you're smelling it already.
As soon as you come in, you make the bracha.
Going to a store that's selling spices. Yeah.
Shuk Machne Yehuda. Such a good way.
Many of the Rishonim, when we say Boida Minim Samim, we say Boida Maria Eish. Many of the Rishonim say, not all, that there's a very big difference between Boida Maria Eish and Boida Minim Samim. Boida Maria Eish, they say, is not birchos hanehenin. It's not birchos hanehenin. Boida Maria Eish. It's birchos shevach vehoidoa. This is birchos hanehenin. Why? Because we'll talk in a minute why. But that's what they say. Boida Maria Eish is birchos shevach vehoidoa. Just like in the morning you make birchos yotzei ma'odis. V'mishabeach the Eibush for making ma'odis. What's the difference?
This is not included?
What's the difference if it's so again, the Rishonim say Boida Maria Eish is birchos shevach vehoidoa, and Boida Minim Samim is birchos hanehenin. What's the difference? So the Ritva says the difference is very simple. The difference is if you already did it, if you could do it again. So birchos mitzvahs, even if you did it already, you could do it again to be moed to someone else. Birchos hanehenin, if you're not doing it yourself, you're not allowed to. If you're not drinking water, you can't make a shackle for someone else. He has to make his own shahakal. So that's the difference. If birchos huriyah is birchos, is it the birchos huriyah, is it birchos shevach vehoidoa, or is it birchos hanehenin? Most of the Rishonim say the Boida Maria Eish we make Motzah Shabbos. Why do we make Boida Maria Eish?
What's nothing to do with
Yeah, I'm just going off on a tangent for a moment.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, why do we make Boida Maria Eish? So. Because Ma'od Marishan gave a knack 2 racks on Motzah Shabbos, and he gave a knack to 2 racks, and we'll talk about it the Mitzvah Shem when we'll do Siman Reish Tzadik Vav, Reish Tzadik Zayin, Reish Tzadik Ches, when we start next week in Mitzvah Shem Hilchas Havdalah. But there's another reason that some Rishonim say, which is that every night that's dark, so the world is dark, in the morning when the sun shines, you thank the Eibush for Yotzei Ma'odis. But the fire, 24/7, you can always, but not 24/7, 26. Shabbos not allowed to use fire. So much Shabbos, which you're also to use fire for 24 hours. Now you make a bracha
for having fire.
So there is a svara to say that Boida Maria Eish is birchos hanehenin. But as I said, most of the Shem hold that Boida Maria Eish is birchos shevach vehoidoa, like birchos ma'odis. But Boida Minim Samim,
that's a no.
that's a birchos hanehenin.
What does me'oire mean? From the light, right?
Boida Maria Eish?
Yeah. You see, it's an interesting lotion in itself.
Yeah. We're going to do the Gemara next week.
The Shorish is or.
Ma'or, B'Shama says ma'or, and Basil say ma'oire.
Right.
Because the Gemara says there's a few kinds of oir.
Right.
Chassidus, like one of the, I don't know why, but we never learned those Maimonim. But what's considered one of the Nahoire Ukma, Nahoire Chivre, like there's a few Maimonim about the different shades of, those are considered like very
deep philosophical.
Big light, is small light,
green and red.
Or Yashar, or Choser.
Oh, that's a lot of Maimonim. No, the Nahoire Ukma, Nahoire Chivre, like there's a few. The blue light, the red light, the white light.
But from the bracha itself, it's not mashma that it's a bracha of hano. Because if it would be a bracha of hano, you would be mishabeach. Mashma over here, it's a little different than.
You say boire mini b'saramim, boire oire eish. How different is it from the nasa?
Mini b'saramim is.
Boire mini
is like
b'saramim.
saying a different word of multiply or
why don't you just say boire eish?
Me'oire is a word.
Why are you talking about the moed? Talk about the eish itself.
Yeah.
Like, why talk about the oil? Talk about the moed.
The more. Yeah.
Right, that's what we usually say. That's what we usually, if we're mishabeach something, we usually say that.
Right.
Shahakum the other.
Right. Very pri adoma.
Because Eish could be fire, could be deadly. But Ma'or, the light of the fire, is you thank Hashem for the light of the fire.
Okay. Anyway, that's what most of the Rishonim say this. That's I think there's one Yotzim and a Klal. All the Rishonim say Taka that Boida Moed Eish is, it's not like Boida Minim Samim. Boida Minim Samim is birchos hanehenin. Boida Minim Eish is birchos shevach vehoidoa. As I said, the nafkamin is if you already did it once, if you could do it again. Birchos hanehenin you can't do a second time. You can't do it for someone else. And birchos shevach vehoidoa you could.
You can't say Ma'or at any time. Only on the law.
Right, that's what I'm saying. According to these Rishonim, that which most of them say that Itfa says it and the Ravya says it's in the Gemara Nundal and Psochim, and the Tosfa says it there. So if you say that Boidim Ereveisha is a birchos Shevach vehoidah, it's not birchos hanehenin. So then, but it's obviously it's only Matzah Shabbos, but there's also a kula there that if you did it already, but someone else doesn't know how to make that bracha, you can make it for them. Birchos hanehenin, if he doesn't.
Okay. But there was something about this whole thing that I never understood. That it makes a lot of sense on Pis Sabara that maybe Borei Ha'ich and Motzei Shabbat. It's because he couldn't make a fire beforehand during Shabbat.
Right.
But then there's that thing about Yom Kippur, that the Ner Shabbat. And now it seems from this whole thing that the purpose of it, and a lot of in all the writings it seems to imply that the purpose of Orei Ha'esh and Motzei Shabbat is because Adam HaRishon made the first fire in Motzei Shabbat. It's not because we can't use fire during Shabbat. It's because of Adam HaRishon. And they bring.
No, you're right. So that's the thing. That's why Motzei Shabbos is different than Motzei Yom Kippur. That's why there's a few differences. Of course, Motzei Shabbos has two reasons. Therefore, we're not so particular. It doesn't have to be in there. Sheshavas, it's not allowed to be in there. That not so by Aveda. But it doesn't have to be in there. Sheshavas, and there's a few things where we're more lenient. But the Ner after Yom Kippur, we're more machmir in the what type of fire we use because of exactly what you said. Because Motzei Shabbos has two reasons for it. And number one is because you couldn't use it for 24 hours.
Okay,
and number two, where does it say that you couldn't use it?
No, where does it say that the purpose of organization was in Shabbat is because you couldn't use it, make a fire during Shabbat?
The Rishonim said, the Ramban says it right over here in the Gemara that we're learning right now. And also a lot of the Rishonim say it in Psochim and Daf Nun Daled, whereas that's where the sugya about the difference of the fire that use Motzei Shabbos and Motzei Yom Kippur. But the Ramban says it mefurish in the Gemara that we're learning now. That's in the Perek 8 in Brachos.
Also, we said, Ovela Siatan, you light it and then you start Ovela. It's not like you get to the brocha, you light and make a brocha. You're lighting it before you start Ovela.
Right, because it's now, right, exactly. Birchos hanehenin, you have to make the bracha before. Good svara, very good. Ketzad mevorech. Ketzad mevorech. By the way, there's a story with the Alter Rebbe, with the tabak. That Rabbi Tshuva gave him a nice piece, a silver box of tabak. And the Alter Rebbe said that ein Ever da bei Menschen, was nicht kein bald Taive, und euch ein, wenn man umstoppen mit Taive. Like, one Ever is not a bald Taive, and that one Ever you want to stuff up with Taive? No. So he took out the string that connected the top to the box.
Broke it.
The hinge.
Right, the hinge.
Disconnected.
And he used it as a mirror to straighten out the tefillin shorosh.
Because he had a problem with his tefillin string.
Right, because he had a problem with that, exactly. And the Rebbe kocht it, Tzemach Tzedek said, because Dveikus used to move, and then he heard that Malmailas, they're not very happy with him, that the tefillin is moving, because they have to be Beinei Necha.
So what?
But the problem was he was in Dveikus, and the film was flying from here to there and everywhere.
It was rolling on the floor.
Yeah, so Mamela, okay. So, but the Rebbe kocht that the Tzemach Tzedek said that there was two neschos. One is that he broke the cover, and the other one is that he just removed. Tzemach Tzedek said not shy. The Zed is going to break. Okay. But I was just wondering, what I don't understand. What is the Alter Rebbe saying? The Gemara says, "Minu anamili shemavorchem alareach shenem mekol anashamat al yohalaluka." Eizo dover shanashom and enesemene ve'ena gufnene mimenu. Hevel ime zoreach. The Gemara says mefurish. The reach is the neshamas nene, not the guf. So how could the Alter Rebbe say that shmek tabak is yeah, and they want to umstoppen mit Taive? It's not umstoppen mit Taive. It's
But I don't understand the whole thing. Also. How do you say there's one Aver that's not shaykh to Taiva? It is shaykh. You pass by a bakery, you smell fresh bread.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your mouth waters from it because of what you know.
So what is the Alter Rebbe saying?
You don't get hanof from smelling the treif.
You get
kosher. You're not talking about the
No, but I'm saying.
I've said it. Today's
no, but I'm saying it's shaykh to Taiva. Rome is shaykh to Taiva. There's no question about it.
More than that, the halacha
There's no
says
issa
women
though.
will-
No, with the time
Right,
or
right.
anything.
So that means
There's no issa in
He's not-
smelling
He
things.
Yeah.
didn't say about Issa. He said about Taiva. So I'm saying there is Taiva. That's my question. That's all. Nothing
The
about
time is
Issa.
set, right?
I'll tell you,
So the
it's not
Arbiter
for
against any
Any
rabbis,
pleasure, yeah.
any pleasure. I am myself.
Zucker gab it. Zucker gab it an
That's
Right.
what they hold.
It's said by a Farsi. You know what a Farsi? They are very, very cheap people.
Yeah.
So he took a walk with his wife next to a restaurant. So she told him, wow, it smells so good. She said, did you want to walk again?
No racist joke.
So,
Especially against our fellow.
No, he wasn't referring to the Yid in Shabbat.
They have something worse than this.
Oh, God bless you. I'm sorry.
He tell
I
his
went
child, Farsi tell his child, if you be good, take it to the ice cream store and I'll show you how they're eating ice cream.
so B'meila, I think I'm asking a silly shaila, but I just want to explain something with this. The Rambam says that we always said this, we learn in the neshama, right? Nefesh, ruach, neshama, then goes chai yechida. But the Rambam says that the neshama doesn't live eternally. He says the tzuras hanefesh lives eternally. The Rambam says the neshima, Rachman al when a person dies, is nifsak neshima, the neshama doesn't live. So when Chazal say neshama, you have to be careful. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the neshama in Pri Etz Chaim or in the Zohar HaKodesh? Nefesh, Ozel, Moeder, Ruach, Veruach, Neshmasa, Neshmasa, Lachai, Vachai, Liachida? Or are you talking about the neshama that the Rambam was talking about? That a human being has it and an animal has it. When a person dies, he loses that neshama, that neshama. The Gemara is talking about we're not talking about the neshama and Chai Yechida. We're talking about the nefesh achiyunis. We're talking about the neshima. Okay, so now I want to explain something. Every avid in the person, the eyes. You're supposed to use your eyes to tell you where to walk. The vayla your eyes ashetazayim achareim. The ears, you're supposed to, to hear things that are important. The vayla happens achala loshen horis, Your nose, most of the time, what are you doing with the nose?
Just breathing.
You're breathing.
Staying alive.
To stay alive, right.
Yeah.
So you're not stopping it with taiva.
Okay, it's less than the other.
Less.
Yeah,
Now
much
you
less.
understand what the
Okay,
Alter Rebbe is saying.
But
Ein Evei Damen for Sanishkin Baal Taiva.
Okay.
Baal Taiva doesn't mean he's not a farangaton.
Right.
The eyes are
Right.
krichin here and there.
Okay.
The nose is busy to chayis, to live, the neshima, to live.
Right.
And now people are trying to snuff up even the nose to become a Baal Taiva. So that the Alter Rebbe didn't like. Okay. Now you understand. Chazal say that why the Rishonim say why is it that Boide Maria Eish is birchos shevach and Boide Bin B'samim is birchos hanehenin? So some Rishonim say because the B'samim goes into the guf and the fire doesn't go into the guf. Other ones say because this you have a noah and this you don't have a noah.
What, the fire, you don't have a noah?
Oh, where do you have a noah?
Sure you have a noah.
So the pshat is like this. The pshat is like this. That the emissaries, Chazal say, food and drink goes into your guf. So therefore, you make a broch on it. The Chazal say a chidush davar. That the smell, even though you don't eat it and get satisfied, mamish the same way.
Going to the group, it doesn't really
But
go into
fourth, smell a little bit satisfies, just like we learned the other day from the Mogen Avram, we're going to be smoking. So the Mogen Avram was mesupik. If you before smoking, you have to make a bracha. Why? Because fourth, it's soyed. So the same thing, the smell. So it goes a little bit into the guf, and a little bit it is soyed the guf. It does a little bit be soyed the guf. So achila v'shtiya mamish goes into the person and is soyed the person in ganzen legamre. Masha'enkein. So this masha'enkein reach, but for the reach has in a 2 miles. Reach goes into the guf and also gives a noah. There are some things that they give a lot of a noah, fire, but it doesn't go into the guf. There are things that go into the guf,
Don't give a noah.
but they don't give a noah. For example, metemes ain't tzarech bracha, because it's anyway you're not planning to have a noah. You're a chef and you're tasting it. So we say by reich has 2 miles in it. The reach has a mile that it's nichtens leguf, and a person has a noah from it. It's taka not so gewaldig like a noah.
It's not mamoshus, but
Exactly. It's not like feeding a steak and drinking a glass of wine, but fart it goes into the person. Mashenk, that's vitamin of some, but vitamin eish doesn't go into the person. Okay. If it's a herb. If it's eitz, even if it isn't the eitz gomur, but it's a little hard. It's not as soft as grass. Which is this Shibolas Nair, this is one of the Salmon Aktoides. Similar.
Nair is frankincense?
Spikenard.
Spikenard.
Which is it's still used. It's like an essential oil also. They use it today too. You can buy it.
Body lotion.
Yeah, body lotion? Okay. Similar, Chakordin, rosemary. Nikra eitz le'inyan brachazu. These things are considered eitz l'gabi this bracha. Moshe mitzina b'lashon ha'kosa. She ha-pisht nikra eitz. Moshe kosa v'titmenem pishtei eitz. L'gabi rochav. Right? So she hid them the pishtei eitz. Pishtan is not eitz, but because pishtan are a little hard, they have the name eitz. V'chein ha'reach Hashem ha'mishabelas neish. According to Spikenardi, the shemen of Shibelas Neir is basically that they make essential oil out of the spikenard, yeah. And that's what you could buy today. It's not very expensive. $6.99 a bottle for 6-7 ounces.
For the Atzivasami was totally if it stays on the tree from year to year, like it rejuvenates on the tree. Like a banana.
Right, so there's looking at over here. There's a beautiful ha'oris put together by Rabbi Avram Michal Ashri. Look at order 13, Yud Gimel. You see order 13? Yud Gimel? He says, Berei Badei HaShulchan, which is Rabbi Avram Chaim Noah, Siman Samach Besef Kotten Gimel, Shetzora Gam She'etz Yiskayim L'Pochtem Shana L'Shana, Oishi Shara Shara Ba'oretz. Listen, this is not Toiras Moshe. I mean, this is what Rabbi Avram Chaim Noah holds. Kedover Anizir B'chol Shana L'Shach L'Kroise Ilan Klau. That's what he says. V'achilaku kazesh linyan v'yechaz ha'pri tzarashia ilan imanafim dafka. If legabe by the priya eitz, when you eat it, it has to have 2 miles. That the sides mekayim meshana l'shana, and also that the tree has branches. Doesn't have to have both miles. I feel like nafim klal is erchid good, but it has to be a tree that lasts from year to year. Banana. It doesn't or. No, but it grows directly from.
No, in other words, after you pick the fruit, there's no more branches.
Raspberries. The Alter Rebbe says raspberries are dumb, even though they grow on bushes that are like this. Because you know, I went with the summer, I went with the kids, but it's you see Mamash that I'm saying, you take it off the branch. It's not like there's a leaf. You take it off the branch. That's why it has a thing like this. It's like, you take it off. So the Alter Rebbe says, therefore blackberries, the Alter Rebbe says, is ha'etz. Raspberries are adum.
Mushroom also doesn't grow from.
Mushroom is
Stama fungus. Stama fungus. A fungus bialma. But if you go with your kids, you'll take them blackberry picking and raspberry picking. You wouldn't realize that one is a eitz and one is a dama. They're both bushes like this, hedges.
But the way they grow, that's different.
They, you plant hedges like Beis Menachem Mendel did. Shloshim Yom Kedem Machag Basel Lagani. And you see, it goes. Yeah.
What is that, cat?
I don't know, but it's not. It doesn't belong there because you can't see it from the street.
No, you understand. This is Chabad. Shloshim Yom before the Chag. So we have to have Basel Lagani.
No, he didn't do that. No, because we don't want anyone taking short.
Huge shvat.
No one can see it.
So that's when we learned the Maimer Basel Lagani.
I thought it's supposed to be the moon this way and then the flowers.
No, why? I thought it was very nice.
Yeah, it is, but you can't see it from the other side. You can only see it from this side.
Well, why do you call that? I
You know
see
what those
other
rocks are all
people
from?
have it too.
Where are they from?
What
Old
is
house.
this? Like
Oh, yeah?
a
Yeah,
it's
cute.
They made gardens over there.
So
So I sold them. I saved them. They were just going to get thrown out.
What is this?
They told them to save them. Bus?
What is that thing? I see other people have it too in
What?
the garden. That plant. It's not a cabbage.
It is a cabbage.
It is a cabbage,
Yeah.
but it's you don't eat it, right? It's just
You don't, you and I don't, but people do.
No, it's edible because I
Sure.
don't know.
If we had rabbits here, if we lived with rabbits, we would eat it all up. And the deer, they
Okay,
love it.
all right, okay.
The rabbits and the deer love it.
So B'meila, the emes the Mishnah Brura has a big suffix about this. If from the Alter Rebbe it seems clear, I don't know why, the Avram Chaim Noah decided that also according to the Alter Rebbe it's a suffix. Look at the last line here. Teres Menachem, Seder birchos hanehenin. Teres Menachem, the Rebbe was planning to write a sefer on Seder birchos hanehenin, but he never got down to it. But he wrote to himself like little... Huh?
It would have been some
It would have been some sefer. Shekosav, the Rebbe wrote, Tzorich iyun ma nikra eitz le'inyan birchos hareich. So the Rebbe was like Mesupik, but I just want to tell you, I spoke to Rabbi Levin, who was the librarian. He claims that this that the Rebbe wrote to himself was nothing. It was just like a short kitzur of everything that Avram Chaim Noah wrote. So it's not, you can't be medayik from it to anything. That's what he claims. But anyway, the Mishnah Brura Taka has a big problem here. Mishnah Brura says he's not so clear. Some Rishonim say
What's the get
that the gather of basically the gather of eitz and esav legabe smelling is the same legabe eating. The zobadinim. Other Rishonim say no, because that's what the Gemara says. Mashma from the Gemara that titman and pishteh that it's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. So the emes is so
why does it have to be a machlokes and mitzias? What does the Gemara say?
a machlokes isn't din, because the Gemara says that legabe shabalos nerd that how could you call it eitz? So the Gemara says because it says in the pasuk vatitmen and pishteh eitz. Really, it sounds more like the Rishonim will say that from this Gemara is mashma that you don't compare the birchos of achila to birchos hareich. Legabe achila, you need to have two basic tanoim in order for something to be b'rei pri eitz. It has to be miskayim lashana. You can't be replanting it every year. And b'zeh gufa, there's three shitas. How much has to be miskayim lashana? Just the thing, the roots, the tree, or even the branches.
Right.
But it has to be miskayim l'chol days. It got to be. Number one has to be miskayim lashana. Number two, it can't be growing from the thing itself. There has to be ilon. There has to be anofim, and the petas have to hang off the anofim. These are the bananas. Has both chesronos. Both chesronos. It's not mishon l'shana. You have to replant it every year, and
There's no enough.
there's no enough. Beide chesronos bananas. Something has one chesron, not the other chesron. So Avram Chaim Noah came up with this thing. He has a little bit of a diuk in the Alter Rebbe over here in Halacha in Perek Vav. Anyway, but the bottom line is he makes it complicated, like the Mishnah Brura too. That maybe you all that maybe also legabe the brocha atzib somim that it needs to be at least something which is miskayim l'shana. The only thing that the Gemara tried to give you a discount on is that it doesn't have to be that there is a tree and there's branches and from there comes the thing.
They get together to a mini.
Yeah, but zicha has to be something which is miskayim l'shana. That's what about the Mishnah Brura holds,
Yeah.
and that's what the Avram Chaim Noah is mesupik that maybe. So anyway, that's what
But
he
you
says.
see that trees that are root based, and you just cut the branches to come back way stronger each year because the roots go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So, like my neighbor has a fig tree. What do you say that in Hebrew? Figs.
Tainim.
Hanehenin.
Yeah.
Tainim cannot go in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
What?
beautiful.
Yeah, it grows.
Gorgeous,
An
delicious.
Italian guy in the funny town.
All over the place. They're all over. The Italian guy loved the fig trees.
Figs, yeah,
Fig trees.
figs.
So they cut the whole thing from the bottom. The whole thing is cut, and then it just gets branches.
Wow.
We can go to see it during the daytime. It's cut. They cut it down every winter, just before the winter, and then it comes back. They're huge. Mashenki, the little ones in the nursery, they're very thin, and they're tiny. The ones that they actually blossom after I don't know how many years they're in the nursery, maybe 3 or 4 years, but they're tiny.
So dafka when you cut them,
They cut them for the almanas that it should come back big.
interesting.
And it's the same thing with a lot of trees. Not trees, I mean shrubs. So why don't you just? So you're saying by the raspberries, you're saying?
Oh, the raspberry is a different thing because Alter Rebbe says it grows. There's no anofim. It grows on
Right
the onif
after,
itself.
right off of the vine. The vine.
Right. It doesn't hang off it. It doesn't like.
But where does it say that that's one of the tanoim? It's
That's
either
the second tanai. The tanai is that
that
there
has
is
enough.
anofim, and the fruit is hanging off the onif, not growing on the onif.
So why don't we out suffix just say is baby summon? I mean, Adama.
That's what we do.
Both on raspberries and...
No, he says blueberries, he says, or blackberries, he says no shaila.
There are enough?
Yeah, there's enough of him, and it stands me Yeshana Lashana. I don't know.
Never saw him.
Yeah, it's like anavim, you know, when you have like little things.
Yeah,
That's
like
how
grapes,
they
you
call.
mean?
Like grapes. It's like one.
You know what I was thinking? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. If it's my own ignorance or you know.
Yeah.
Also had like a lot of things.
Because the red...
You see that we have already in the Gemara a bracha Bayrei Minei B'Samim. You don't have Bayrei Minei Teiros, right? You know what I mean? So maybe like
It has a
you know what I'm
stem.
saying?
It has a stem.
I'm sure I'm
That's
missing
not a
something
branch.
because I didn't learn the
It's not a
necessary Gemara Mishnah to know anything.
Yeah,
But
so
maybe it's like
that's a
always
branch.
was a suffix by Samim. If
It's
it's
coming out from something.
you know what I mean? I don't know.
I hear a svara.
I have to go look. You have to have to learn the whole sugya to see how did it come about that there should be a
Right.
bracha bari minab sam.
Right.
I guess originally the bari minab sam was things that didn't fall into any cloud. There are things in nature, I guess, that are not this way and they're not.
Like we'll learn in a second.
Uh-huh.
We'll learn
Adasim is a tree or?
no. We'll learn that in a second.
Anyway, the OU says that blackberries and raspberries can't be projected. They allow it. Disallow it.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
allow.
None of it.
Blackberries and raspberries.
They allow it only in the jams because they're cut
The
up.
bottle or whatever they get
But
cooked.
but I read once there's a machlokes rishonim if it's metamtim, even after it's cut up. So there's that
all the
guarantee.
jams have a problem.
So interesting, yeah.
So how old we can use all the stuff inside?
They're makel. They go by the day that holds in its bottle.
Because the jams, there's no way
No,
they
I'm
check.
saying everyone holds its bottle. The shaila is if it's metamtim or not.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's makel. I don't know.
Halacha Gimel. So again, to summarize, according to the Pashto Losh and the Alter Rebbe, the difference between Atzeh and Izbei Psamim is something that's hard is Atzeh, something that's soft is Izbei. But the Mishnah Brura makes it complicated, and so does the Badei Shulchan. They say maybe you need to be at least that this thing, this tree, the shrub, is has roots in the ground. Mishana Loshana. Okay. Halacha Gimel. Imo Priya Roi Lachila. If it's a fruit that you can eat. Bein Priya Ha'etz Kamet Tapuach, Esrik, an apple, an esrik. Bein Priya Adoma. If it's from the tree, from the ground. Mevorach HaReichot. Baruch Ato Hashem, Elokeinu Melech Olam. Asher Nosan Reach Toiv Bapeiris. It's interesting that the Alter Rebbe teaches us this whole bracha, and the other brachas he doesn't say, like, you know, he just says by the Izbei Psamim or by the Minim Psamim. Here he says the whole bracha, and I hap today why, because this Shabbos someone came over and was smelling your esrig, and he started to
you don't make a bracha.
no, and he started to fumble. Nosan, Asher Nosan.
Oh, right.
Because there's looking at Orach of Gimel.
Well, first he didn't even believe that you made a bracha.
Oh, okay. But there's look at a ton of opinions how the bracha goes. Shenosan, Hanoisen, Asher Nosan, Hanoisen.
Yeah.
So therefore maybe this bracha, the Alter Rebbe wants you should know clearly how to make it. Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, Asher Nosan Reich Toiv Bapeiris.
But if you want to eat it also, so you make a bracha.
Oh, what do you do now? Now, not lebi yodel ochel belvad.
Yeah. You better make this bracha first if you want to eat it afterwards.
Why?
That's a good question.
How are you going to smell after it?
No, if you don't eat the whole thing.
No, if you don't think, yeah,
Fine,
take a
but
bite.
you're going to smell first.
This
then
machlokes,
How you
you'll see in a
smell
second.
better
It's a
after you take a
machlokes.
bite. Because you have your
You saliva.
Im not lebi yodel ochel belvad. If he picked it up with his hands to eat it, if he picked it up, v'reach oile me'ela v'choytmei. He picked it up, v'reach oile me'ela v'choytmei, and he could smell it. Ein mevarach hareach zeh. He doesn't make a bracha. Why?
This is levad.
Because he picked it up to eat. So because he picked it up to eat, so that's it. So it's just like a person, like we said in the Gemara. If you put it in the store, you want people to smell it, it's called avid al-reich. But if you put it in the storage house, and just the store, it's not called avid al-reich. If you walk into the store, you make barim. Some if you walk into the storage house, you don't. Same way here, he picked it in his hand to eat it. It's as if loya eino al-reich.
Let's say he says, "Oh, I like the smell."
Oh, but if he changes his mind and he picks up the pretty to the nose, the hanes merech, the smell from his reach, before he eats it.
That's not really answering the question. In other words, let's say he wants to eat it, but it's a geschmack of smell too.
Then you don't make a bracha. Clear. It's interesting. The Mishnah Berurah has a totally different shita. The Alter Rebbe is a shita as a yochid in the way the Alter Rebbe learns the sugya, and there's a whole planterai in the thing. But the Alter Rebbe, so Mishnah Berurah says if a person goes into a garden and it smells good from the fruits, you don't make a bracha because the Tosfos says that and the Shulchan Aruch says you have to pick it up. You have to pick it up al das it should smell. The Alter Rebbe holds just
we're talking about a fruit or a flower.
Fruit.
A fruit.
If you go into orchard, apple orchard.
Orchard. Okay.
A fruit.
Smell delicious.
Citrus, right.
Yeah.
Right. They tapuchim. No.
You're not probably smelling the apple. You could be smelling the flowers or if it's not a blossom, the leaves.
No, so then it wouldn't be a shayla.
Maybe a lemon orchard is a better example.
Right, lemon would be good.
Yeah, or
the
not
citrus,
orange.
Anything in the citrus family, because over there it's not mistakable. You could,
Right, very strong.
Right.
Oils in it.
Right. So the Alter Rebbe, the bottom line is the way the Alter Rebbe learns is interesting because later the Alter Rebbe will explain it a little more specifically in Halacha Ches. The Alter Rebbe holds that even though they plant trees to food to eat, but they also have in mind that it should have a good smell. Why not? They also have in mind it should have a good smell. So therefore, if you walk into a fruit store and it smells geschmack, you walk into a pardes and it smells geschmack, you can make a bracha. The whole problem the Alter Rebbe says is if you picked it up, you made a maisa al das to eat it.
And then you also smell it.
So the only way now, maisa moitzi midei maisa, ve'em machshava moitzi midei maisa. Right? Now you made a maisa, you picked up the apple to eat it. So now, that's it. The only way you can now make a bracha, is if you're going to make another hakboah and put it to your nose, al menas, to smell it. The Pri Megadim, the Mishnah Berurah, they hold differently. They hold if you walk into a pardes, you don't make a bracha. You walk into a fruit store, you don't make a bracha. Only if you picked it up, al das lahoriach boy. And that's the way the Mishnah Berurah learns in the Gra, but the Alter Rebbe learns not that way. The Alter Rebbe holds fakert. It's innocent until proven guilty. You always make a bracha nazareth abaperis. If you picked it up, al das laochloi. Oh, now we have to know what to do. Now we have to do another ma'aseh to make it that you want to smell it. Well, how do you do? Oz mevorech tchila shenosareth abaperis. First you make the bracha shenosareth abaperis and smell it. V'achakach then you make beide priya eitz or beide priya dama v'oichloi and eats it. Again, this is a machlokes. Mishnah Berurah passes like the Pri Megadim, the other way around. Because if you remember, we learned in the Gemara that there's a machlokes with the Shema V'Silum. When a person has a shemen and yain, which bracha should come first? So V'Silum says you make a bracha first on the yain and then the shemen. Why? So the Rashba says, because what's more choshev? Achila v'shasiyah, because that goes into the goof. And like I said in the introduction of the shir, it's more of a no, it goes more into me. Even though it's a little bit of a neach and goes in, it's soyed, but it's not as satisfying as achila. Therefore, whenever you have a shaila between a birchos achila and birchos areach, birchos achila v'shasiyah always goes first. Always goes first. Okay. So the chayyre bazoi, also here, you should first make the birchos ha-areach. So
no, you should make boya eitz, eat it.
Right.
Then,
I'm sorry. Yeah, you should make boya eitz. So, but the problem is that they say, but over here, Basil was talking about this two separate things, shemen and yayin. But now that it's one thing, and the smell comes to you first before you're eating it, so it makes sense to make first
the smell.
The smell. Good. So the Pri Megadim says, I have an eitzah. Have an eitzah. What's my eitzah, says the Pri Megadim. Shabbat says you should do like the Pri Megadim. Pick it up and have in mind you're only going to eat it. Take one bite, then pick it up to your nose and have a das to smell it. But the Alter Rebbe doesn't say that. Why doesn't the Alter Rebbe say that? It's very posh why the Alter Rebbe doesn't say that. Because the Alter Rebbe holds that as soon as you walk into a room that smells good from apples or a sroigin,
you're getting unknown.
Right. The Mishnah Berurah and the Pri Megadim, they hold. Yeah, the Chiv came first, exactly. What kunz?
No, but he really only wanted the apple, so it didn't come first, because he had a kavanah dafka for the apple.
If that's the case. But the Pri Megadim and the Mishnah Berurah, they hold that you never make a bracha on a fruit unless you picked it up al das to smell it. If you walked into a grocery store or you walked into an orchard, you don't make unless you picked it up al das to eat it. So then you can have a trick and say, pick it up and have a das to eat it, and don't have a das to smell it, and then pick it up a second time al das to smell it. According to the Alter Rebbe clearly holds if you walk into a paradise and it smells good, you right away make a bracha. So what do you mean? How you can't have that eitzah? That eitzah doesn't work. That's it.
What about the fact that you should make on a shalom? If you're making a bracha on the peri,
that's a good svara. I hear. Yeah,
you should make it on a shalom, not a forbidden out thing.
You could say that too.
So forget. How am I not to make the eat the apple? I only want to make a bracha on the reach and then make the bracha on the tree after you've made the bracha on the reach, because you have it a shalom.
I hear. It's a good svara. It's a good svara. You're saying another svara.
I don't know if it applies to if you're smelling the apple. In other words, when you make the bracha,
then you make the bracha for sure. You say even though it'll be a hefsek and you'll cut it later and you have to peel it better, make a better priyates and then cut it and then peel it. You should make a shalom.
Right.
So you're saying that
maybe
sometimes
you have to check it. It's better to open up.
If there's a shail of bugs, then but otherwise, even though it'll take it's a hefsek, I don't care. There's a chshivas of a shalom. So you're saying that I never wanted. You should make.
I'm not saying that was his kavanah. I'm just saying that makes another reason to say why you.
Good. So I'm saying it in the Alter Rebbe.
Oh, you think that's what he thought?
I don't know. It's another svara.
Who decided what is a good smell or not to make a bracha? For example, somebody like to smell a chont. You walk into the place, I smell chont, he loves it. Somebody else, it's nauseous.
Probably the same.
So the Taylor diet, so
yes, exactly. Same on foods.
Who say this is the nana that you
Who says that some people eat grass, right? Some people eat leaves. They eat, I don't know, by them the leaves taste good, they eat nana leaves or whatever.
Right.
So I guess it's the holy and like the minig malcolm.
Yeah, I think so. Because there's a tshuva that's brought here, a tshuva from a Talmud of the Radvaz. I mentioned it when we learned the Gemara, that what you do with mint, nana. So he says, nana doesn't have a good smell. We heard that the Ashkenazim, they don't have a good taste. And the Ashkenazim, they think that nana is a good smell. Mint, right. They said
it's nice. The silver
Mistapik b'tshuvas ginev's v'rodim. Ginev's v'rodim is Svardi. He says...
It really is good?
By Svardi, if you give you a cup of tea with nana, that's oil.
They probably think we're wasting it. They probably think we're wasting it.
But you ever see by Svardim house, they serve you a cup of tea, we put nana inside, this is
mint.
It's a high class tea.
The high class tea. It's a choshev. Let's finish the halacha. So again, a pri that's royal achila and it has a good fragrance, you make ashnos and b'peiris. The Alter Rebbe says you make first, if you're planning to eat it, you make first ashnos and b'peiris and then beide prio eitz. Even a pri that's not royal achila, only if you mix it. Im ikroi, oimed lakach, if the ikr of it is made for this, it kegoin. It's made lachila. Kegoin, kinoma shekol tzimerind. Cinnamon. Tziporidin shekarin neglach, which is cloves, right.
Neglach is in Yiddish, no?
I don't know. I think nicht is neglach. The neglach.
Neglach in Yiddish.
It's also neglach in Yiddish.
Yeah, it's also neglach. But
sweet and sour fish with it. You put the
right. So they put it in spices. Right. Exactly. Pickles. They put it into pickles. Shaimnu l'tavlin betavshil. Some say the reason that you make reich tavlin is because you eat it. What do you do with cinnamon? Cinnamon buns. You eat it. V'yesh chelkim b'zeh. Ah? V'yesh chelkim. V'oim misham varach alein boirei atzei b'samim. And the Alter Rebbe is machadish reason why what's the svaras of machloikas. So Alter Rebbe is machadish. He says ma'achar she'enam ruim la'achila be'enam. Because you can't eat. You don't sit there and eat, spoons of cinnamon and
no, it doesn't taste good.
And it doesn't have there. So, and if a person does it, like again, batla daita.
There's no time in it.
Right. So therefore, when it's not
a sweet thing. It's
right.
Not sweet.
So when do we say ashenosan type of peiris? The type of peiris that an apple, an orange. That you eat, but this because you don't eat it be'enam, therefore it's a machloikis. So one shita says taka, you say ashnosan b'peiris.
An esrog, you only eat cooked.
Oh, good question. So the answer is that azoi, because by the cinnamon is bottled to the food. Mashenkin the esrog that you cook with the dvash, So the dvash and the sugar, whatever you put in, that's bottled to the acid.
The esk is not edible raw.
It's not. That, so the
But you
din
shouldn't
is
make an eighth l'chayr anymore on it. You should make a shahakal.
But it's cooked.
the din
It's
is
not eaten raw.
No,
It's
we
only
make
eaten.
it.
It's like a potato, like a
right.
potato.
Right. So
No,
exactly.
it's
If you
Uh,
ate a potato raw, you
make
would make
a-
it very. Oh, it's only way to eat it is cooked. So you only make an eighth if you ate it.
Right, exactly.
cooked,
You
right.
only made it
Right.
eight. Bisman hazeh. Now, even those days were differently because you see befedish. Those days
They
they
were
ate.
sweet, right?
They ate the srogim that were raw.
They had better, they had stronger stomachs.
They ate, yeah,
Shackle, that race by the Torah, so the shackle, like the
or,
woman.
or at least adoma. It's not going to be a raw esrog.
Not eitz.
It's not an eitz. But eitz has to be kederech achilosei. So just like lagabi achila, it's not a problem. Forget it. The fact that you cooked it with sugar and spices, you make the same thing lagabi the bracha. Umesafik yesh lavarach lem boirim in psalm. All spices that have a good smell, like cinnamon v'chilchulu, they should make boirim in psalm. Shekalolos kolaminim v'yetz b'yedei chavos v'yedei kolaminim. Because but the avid you could yoitz everything with boirim in psalm. Right, it's the master, it's the shahakol. V'chein b'davish a suffik like min eitz min eisav. Everything that's a suffik, if it's a eitz or an eisav, make boirim in psalm.
That's why most of Shabbos on Siddur you can make a berim name.
Right,
So it's a suffix.
right. Because anyway, it's a suffix, so therefore you should. So
On
there.
most of Shabbos we say even if you didn't have a suffix you would make a berim name. Even brachos, you know the bracha too.
Because the Alter Rebbe says no. One second, we're going to learn.
I don't know what the
The Alter Rebbe doesn't like that. We're going to learn the Mitzvah, yeah.
All right.
The Alter Rebbe doesn't like that. The Alter Rebbe says that the Welt wird sich Motzei Shabbos, that they make Bodim and Psalm. It's not the right thing to do. You have to put in the back something that's Bevadei Modim and Psalm. But the MS is that, but then the Alter Rebbe holds that cinnamon and cloves you're supposed to make Bodim and Psalm. Anyway, because that's what the Alter Rebbe says. Because they are tavlinin. And yesh emrim tavlinin is a shenaf tzareh beperes. Yesh emrim it's atzeb psalm. Therefore, you should make mini psalmim. So therefore, if you're going to put cloves in your box, it's beseder. So it works out anyway beseder. So for everyone, it's beseder to have cloves or cinnamon, but for different reasons.
Right.
Okay.
My father's spiced cinnamon.
Yeah.
That's what he's been doing for his whole life. That's what he always.
So according to Alter Rebbe, that's terrific because it's bodim in psalmim.
Cinnamon. You like cinnamon?
It's a good smell.
I think it's a great smell.
People make a bari song.
His father makes it on the. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Oh,
Alter Rebbe
that's
brings
where
it together.
yes.
Cinnamon and
Nothing
cloves,
else.
the same
Not
thing.
on the buns, not on the cereal, on the apple.
But
You know why?
I don't know. Most people use cloves. I think.
Too much sugar doesn't do it. The cinnamon is best.
from the sugar.
There's a little bit of acid from the apple. Exactly.
Because there is
I got
Al, hold on.
somebody gave
We
me
don't talk. You
kippah,
see that?
these containers of summer. They look like flowers.
Oh, what happened to him? Is he okay?
What is it called?
I heard it.
Sand-
Right?
sandy
I heard it
thing?
from you.
We have
You have to be
it
careful.
here.
Some of them are really at Erev Shein Leikir that they really can't make a bracha on them. It has to be. Yeah.
It's spirit.
Oh,
It's a very
Oh,
powerful
it's good
smell.
salt.
I didn't really
Then
do
you
it.
could make
So
it.
the whole thing's
What
off?
was it made out of? Was it
I
anise?
don't know what it's
Was it made out of
They
anise?
have it here also. We have a bottle. It looks like a star.
Looks like a star.
So it's